Today's lesson is learning about what is soluble and insoluble. Work your way through this first sheet, and when you're ready to look at predicting solubility, we look at this table of solubility rules. What these are talking about, soluble, means it's going to dissolve. So this is the stuff in the test tube that formed the precipitate, which looks like a little powdery type stuff, or it formed the gel. And to work out the solubility rule, we always look at the second part of the compound name. So nitrates, chlorides, iodides, sulfides, hydroxides and carbonates. How this works is rule 1, nitrates, all soluble. This means they dissolve, so they're the liquid. Rule 2, chlorides, all soluble except for silver chloride and lead chloride. So if you have a compound that is silver chloride, this would have formed the precipitate, or lead chloride, this would have formed a precipitate. But if we had magnesium chloride is soluble. Now down here with the hydroxides, rule 5, all are insoluble. This means they do not dissolve, except for potassium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide. So if you have these two compounds, these are going to be the liquid part. But if we had magnesium hydroxide, this would be the precipitate or the gel that's made. So let's look at the first one. We've got NaNO3. This is sodium nitrate. We write that in first. It's a nitrate, so we're looking at this part. We come down to this rule. So rule 1, nitrates all soluble. Soluble, all nitrates are soluble. So yes, and the rule used is number 1. If we look at silver chloride, we need to write the formula. So silver is Ag and chloride Cl. Silver is 1 plus, chloride is 1 minus, so it's AgCl, I think. I'll have to go back and check at that. Alright, solubility. Let's go and look at chlorides. Rule 2, so we put rule 2 in here. All chlorides are soluble except silver chloride, and this is silver chloride, so it is not soluble. Now you go through and do at least another 10 to get the hang of it. Right? Don't all do nitrates or chlorides, mix up the endings. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our writing. Alright, so we come back down here. So this is our writing. So you get to choose which ones you're going to write on. But for the first one, silver nitrate, we write the rule and we write what it is. So rule 1, all nitrates are soluble. Now this means we can write it this way. Using solubility rule 1, all nitrates are soluble. This means the colourless solution is sodium nitrate. Alright, now looking at silver chloride, this is rule 2, and we write it, all chlorides are soluble except silver chloride and lead chloride. So now this is another way of writing our answer. This means that silver chloride is the something precipitate, and if you go and Google that, that's the silver, it's a white precipitate, because rule 2 says all chlorides are soluble except silver chloride. So we don't mind if you write it this way, alright, or you write it this way. What you must have in your answer is you must have the rule number, you must have what the ending is, like nitrates or chlorides, and is it soluble or insoluble. Okay, so now you head off and do at least 3 more, and then hand it in for us to have a check of your writing. Like normal, any questions, please email us.